So we are going to start with the CS workshop for today. So the very first thing that we're going to do is that you got your laptops. Now it has all the softwares. And the first thing we're going to do is update all of the softwares that you have, because it's been a while since probably you last upgraded them. So I'm going to, with the help of others, we're going to update the computers. We are going to go to an app called Terminal. Yeah, I'm showing them. I'm opening it. So we are going to an app called Terminal.
And you can press Control-Alt-T at the same time to open Terminal.
Yeah, I do not know my keybinds. Yeah, 1 second. I'm just bringing that on the side. Oh my god. Why is Control Plus not working? Okay. That's why I increased that size too.
Anywhere in the terminal and press Preferences, and you can change the font size.
I increased the size of the app itself. Because I do not.
Right click to increase the font size. You make it full screen if you need. That's it.
One row up, you see where it says custom font monospace 12, change that 12 to like a 24. Far right. Right below where yeah. Oh, you have to click the
12 is tiny. Okay, so push that size, you go up. Yeah, 20 is probably good from the back.
Perfect.
Maybe 18, but that's it. Now it's
Applesauce 1, capital A. Right now, yeah. Welcome back. Now we are actually going to start with Python, a programming language. So before. Okay, so why am I only going to specifically talk with Python? It is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, programming language that people use. Why? Because it can do various things. Here are some big words, such as you can create up websites, make games, do anything, whatever you want. You want to get data out of a website because you want to do something out of it. You want to use it for video editing or whatever. YouTube uses Python as a backend. You can just do way too much. It's just your imagination that is gonna be making you stop to make anything. So now we are gonna start doing stuff in Python. So how am I gonna get started? So what we're going to do is we are going to go back into our terminal and start using Python. So if you write the command Python 3 in the terminal, it will open up a page that you see up there. And it is the interactive terminal shell where you can write scripts, such as you can ask it to give you 1 plus, what, 99?
Sure.
Sure. Right? You guys following? Yeah.
So, play around with this for a minute.
Yeah, we're playing around right now. Or let's just say you wanted to do like a really big subtraction. Yeah, it can do it, and it's going to be instantaneous.
Type in 5/2 and ask them what they think it's going to be. This is a fun demo. What do you guys think? What do you guys think this is going to be? 5/2.
It's going to be 5 files and 5 pictures and 2 files.
2.5?
Oh, divided?
Yeah.
Oh.
You all think
Yeah.
2.5?
2.5, yes.
Okay, let's try it.
Correct.
Oh, does it auto-cast it too? In Python 3?
Double slash.
I got that wrong.
Okay. Now since that's division, what about this?
Ooh.
5 divided by 2?
Yeah. What about this?
Wait.
2 divides.
There's 2 divides.
Oh, 5 divided by 2 divided by 2.
Any guess a number? Guess a number. Huh? 2? Why do you think it's 2?
Because you typed it in? It's playing around.
Yeah, that's playing around. It shows 2 because it lowers the value to the nearest integer. Huh? Nearest whole number. But whole numbers from 0 to infinity. Real integers are negative infinity to infinity. But whatever, I don't care. I mean, yeah. So it's 2. Or let's just say you want it to, okay, why is it powering off? Or you want it to say that, hey, this is my computer. It is going to start printing you out that, hey, this is my computer, do not touch it. Right? Now, you can also do is, what do you think this is going to do? How did you guess that correctly? It is the power. It's 3 square. That was fast. Is everybody following, or am I going a bit too fast? Everybody's fine with the speed? Right? And now, let's just say that you want to do multiplication, multiplication with the same number over and over, right? So what you can also do is create store numbers in the system. Let's just say you say that I'm going to say the number x is variable x is 20 because computer is a machine that computes stuff, right? So you want to be able to store information so that you can use it later. For example, if you want to do a multiplication with whatever the value is by x, with 3, you can get 60. Or you want to square the number, you can do the same thing and get 400. And it's just as simple as doing it by the number itself, but now you just have a placeholder that is storing your number. But there is a big problem. Eli, you want to say what's the problem?
Sure. So if we were to say x equals 1/3, right? X equals 1/3. Remember on that. Now ask what x is. So that looks right. What do we think x times 3 should be? What should we get for x times 3? 1? Any other guesses? Let's see. It might actually get it right. I'm not
Yes, it should be right
sure. Oh, it does get it right?
because what it's autonomously figures out.
Yeah. What's one will get it wrong?
Huh?
Python will get it wrong.
People want to
No? Okay.
That's-
Python's too good.
Yeah, Python's too good for it.
Sometimes you run into errors. I'm sure you've ever been playing around in a calculator and you. Oh, do a square root of 2 squared. It can't get that one, right?
I don't think. Not
That's 2 to the 0.5 squared.
Hmm?
Yeah, you gotta.
You need brackets. More brackets. There, yeah. There we go. So we said square root of 2 squared, and we got 2.000000004. So sometimes when you're working with decimals in computers, with fractional numbers, you can run into these very small errors. And you can see this is a really small error, right? The difference between this number and 2 is very small, right? But it can matter in certain applications. So it's just something to be aware of.
Yeah. And everybody following all of these computations that we are doing right now, right? The Spanish-speaking only students, Juby. Okay. So now, like, here's the thing. We are doing one thing at a time. We're writing one thing at a time. We want, let's just say you want to do something that is really big. You do not want it to only be in a single line because you don't want to write in a single line. It's too big, right? So what you can now do is write it in files, right? So how we do that is we exit out of the interactive shell, and as we taught you before, we can use the commands to write in a file, right? So for example, everybody's going to hate this file name that I'm going to use. It's called homework time. I'm not giving you homework, it's just for the sake of fun, but I'm naming the file. And since we are working with a Python file, we have to put .py at the very end of the file. And when we press enter, we can start write the Python commands. Any question? Go ahead. Now, we can write multiple commands that we were previously doing, is such as defining x as our variable, doing multiple expressions, and now we can just say exit out from whenever we are done writing a file, we can just exit out by pressing Control X as it says below, and then saving the file by yes, and pressing enter. And now if I want to run the file, I can just write Python 3, the file, and enter. But there is a Okay. Yeah, that's fine. So try this, and then I'm going to ask a question. We can run the file that you just created to do these bunch of math by running the Python 3 command as before, followed by the file. So we run it, but there's a problem. Does anybody know what the problem is? Like, the problem is we did not see anything that how we were seeing before. That when we did the computation, we had the actual number popping up, right? But over here we did not see it, because that's the thing with working with files, is that you have, whenever you want to print something, whenever you want to actually see it, you have to wrap it around print. And after you save it, you run the file, and now you see your numbers of multiplying the variable by 10, which was 20, or squaring the number to making 20 square to be 381. No, it's 400. Yeah.
So did that make sense to everyone? If in your script you just type a number, it doesn't do anything. It calculates that number in the background and doesn't give it to you. If you want to see that number in the terminal, you have to type print.
So, is everybody following? Everybody else besides the backseat that's following? Okay. Huh? Sure. So does anybody know what Pythagorean theorem is?
What was that? Does anyone know the Pythagorean theorem? Yeah. Shout it out.
Isn't it a to the second power plus b to the second?
A squared plus b squared is c squared?
Yeah.
I think I can say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's exactly now what we are going to do. Is do the computation of a square plus b square, right? We can assign a to be.
Someone shout out a number.
Shout out a number. 5. Shout out the next number.
Or 2.
2. Now you can calculate doing the computation of a square, which, as I showed before, to the power it's double multiplication sign. With square, you sum up by b square, and that gets you what? C square. And to get to the square root, you just have to do the same to the power, but it's just 1 divided by the root you're looking for. And you can then print out C.
So, to check our answer, what do we think we should get? So, 5 squared?
25.
Good.
And then
4? So we should get the square root of 29. Does someone want to pull up the calculator on their phones and do square root of 29? I can't do that in my head.
You can also.
Or you can do it in the Python shell.
You can do it in the Python shell.
Or Google it. Open up the Haskell interpreter.
And
Is it Haskell?
so
Does someone have an answer? 5.38? About?
and we
That
that's
seems
what we
basic, right?
and that's what we got.
5.38.
Yay, it works.
Yeah. And yes, that's what I'm doing next. So now.
Well, what's inconvenient about this? If you had a worksheet from your math teacher that was do a bunch of Pythagorean theorem questions, what would be annoying about this? Well, it's solving it for you, right?
But
What would be annoying? I mean, every time you want to solve a new problem, what do you have to do? You have to open this file up and you have to type new numbers in and change your program. It would be nice if you could write the program once and then just use it, right?
so what you can do to do this is ask the program to grab the inputs from you when you need it. So to do this, it is just changing the number out. You want to get the input to the computer. So you write the input command for the computer to grab the input from you. And since you want a number out of it, you just wrap it around this particular command. I'm not gonna go in the details of this for the time being. And this basically does is after it, the computer is gonna ask the input from you and convert it into a number. And you can do the same thing for B to grab the to calculate the variable C. And now, if you save it and run it, there's going to be a new thing happening. Okay, that's the wrong command. It is now asking for you to put the input. We do not see it because that's what input's doing. If you put the same number, like 5 and 2, we get the same number. Does it make sense to you guys? Are you guys following me? Yeah. Now, to make this more approachable by other people to use it, here's another thing you can do is inside of the input that we asked it, you give the computer to ask what is actually trying to ask for. You can just say that computer, go tell the user who's going to do it, enter the value of A. Same thing with the other one. Enter the value of B. And what this is going to do now is beforehand, we just had to force the numbers. Like you do not know where you're actually putting the numbers at. You have 5 and 2. But now what this will do is the computer is going to ask, what are you going to put for the value of A? You can put, let's just say the easiest one, 3. B, the next easiest one, 4. So if you put the Pythagorean, A and B as 3 and 4, what do you think should be the value of C? Where's the marker? Oh, right there. So we gave A is equals to 3, B is equals to 4. What do you think A squared plus B squared is going to be?
So what is A squared going to be, everybody? 9. What is B squared going to be? 16. What is 9 plus 16?
25.
And what is the square root of 25? 5.
And congratulations, that's what you get. Is everybody still following, or did something went over their head by a bit or by a large amount?
I think we need to, can you open up the script again and just hang on that for a little bit? I think some people got a little bit behind in the actual what needs to be written on this.
Sure. Okay, so like it's been a few minutes. Now coming back to this equation, this code that I have, what do you think is the input thing doing in the script? What are we trying to do with when we wrote input over there? Sorry, what do you say? Sorry, is some.
So like printing what you want it to say, like when you run the file.
Yeah. So in the inside of the input, we are telling the computer to say that when we actually run the file, right? So what input is doing, it is asking the user to put something, and it's gonna take the value that we as the user put, right? And the one outside of the input that it wraps to, it is just converting from input, whatever input the computer wants, to a numerical value, like numbers, right? That we as human, like when we do our math equations and stuff, we put numbers because we know they are numbers. Float just helps figure out for the computer that it's actually a number, right? So that's what A and B does. In C, what does double square means? It was, as he said before, it's square, right? But what about 1 over 2? What do you think that's doing? Because we are doing to the power of 1/2, right? So what do you think the power of 1/2 is doing? Huh? What? It's not really cutting it in half. It's doing the square root, because we have two multiplications. Huh? Yeah. So this is also the end of the CS workshop. Since there's not enough time to do the next section.
Do you have the number guessing game demoed here?
In the slide.
You don't have it running on here?
No. Oh no, sorry, I have.
Yeah, demo it.
Yeah.
They know
So
what they're coming back for.
so when you guys are gonna be coming back in February, because this is the last workshop until because everybody's gonna have their breaks, right? So we are gonna reconvene back in February. Announcement will be sent out in a few days for the actual dates. But when you come back, we are going to learn more, and I do not know. Yes. So when you come back, we are gonna write a game of guessing a number. For example, what do you say? The computers chose a number at random, and now I have to figure out what that number is, and it's only giving me whether I'm guessing higher or guessing lower.
So what should we guess first?
So what is a good number that we should guess?
200. I like that answer.
So it said what is it? I have guessed higher, guess lower. So now we know I have to guess between 100 and 200.
0 and 200.
Oh, sorry, it's exactly 0 to 200. What should be the
100. 150. Also fine.
whichever one? Yeah, let's just go with it. So
Guess higher.
so it says guess higher. So now
So between 1 and 200. What should we guess next? 290? We're between 1 and 200. 150? Good?
now it said that I have guessed lower. So now I know it's a number between 150 to 200.
175? Good guess.
It says guess lower. Now we're
150 to 175?
165.
I heard 165, 180, something around there.
Guess higher. 165 to 175.
170?
Guess lower.
165 and 170.
Guess lower.
Okay. 65 to 69. 67?
Lower.
Lower.
So it's 166.
Wow. So, cool thing. You guys just invented a really important algorithm in computer science.
We are not going to talk about that particular algorithm that we just did, but we are going to come back and start, when we come back in February, we are going to start figuring out how to do things like guessing a number or quadratic equation solver. And last note, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And remember to charge. Okay, or happy holidays, and remember to charge your computers before you come.
I know it's a long time from now. We'll send out reminders, hopefully.
Yeah.
But try and charge your computers. We're also going to try and move to a room, possibly that has more plugs in it. But if you can pre-charge your computers, that's even better.
Happy holidays.
All right, you guys are free.
This program was made possible through generous funding from the National Telecommunications and Information Administration of the U.S. Department of Commerce.